you'll start to read for me.
Okay. Starbucks has opened a new coffee shops in Japan's ancient capital of Kyoto. It's unlike any other Starbucks in the world as it has 3 rooms with tatami, the traditional straw matting that is used for floors in Japanese houses. There are no chairs in the tatami rooms. People sit on flat cushions on the tatami mats. The new coffee shops is in a 100-year-old house in one of the most historic areas of Kyoto. It's located on the attractive Ninenzaka shopping street. It's situated between 2 UNESCO World Heritage listed temples. The area is very popular with tourists, many of whom rent traditional Japanese kimono to go sightseeing in. The 3 tatami rooms are on the 2nd floor on the house.
Of the house. Of
the house. Starbucks has done its best to make sure the coffee shop blends in with its traditional surrounding. There are no neon signs and no big green Starbucks names or logos. Instead, there's a traditional dark blue curtain hanging over the front door. The coffee shop's logo is printed on the curtain in black. Starbucks has reformed the house in the traditional style and has created a Japanese garden for people to look at. The company also wants to be a good neighbor. It had decided not to let people form lines in front of the shop as they wait to get in. It will also limit the number of customers during peak hours. This is to avoid disrupting the quiet atmosphere in the area with crowds of customers.
Crowds. We'll call this crowds of customers.
Crowds of customers.
All right, good. Now let's take a look. Well, do you have any questions?
Yes, I suppose Starbucks is a big company of shops.
Well, not Starbucks itself. Starbucks is a coffee shop. Starbucks itself is a coffee shop, and what I understood is that they are now offering coffee at one of these this ancient building.
Yes.
In order to blend in with Kyoto's, in order to blend in with the surrounding, they're not the traditional Starbucks that we see here in the States. In the States, they have a big green and white sign with a big cup of coffee on it and their name in white, Starbucks.
In fact, it's a shop like McDonald's. We have a lot of McDonald's in France.
Okay.
But I didn't know Starbucks.
Okay. And Starbucks is similar to McDonald's. They don't serve burgers. They serve pastries and coffee primarily.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
All right. Let's do the true false. Then I'll get your summary of the article. A, can you read A and tell me if it's true or false?
Starbucks opened a coffee shop in an ancient capital, Kyoto, in Japan. The coffee shop has 3 tatami rooms. Yes, she has 3 tatami rooms on the 2nd floor.
And what about A? What was A, true or false?
It's true. It's true.
Good. Okay.
The coffee shop is in a 1,000-year-old building. No, it's false because the The building is only 100 years old.
Very good.
The tatami rooms are on the second floor of the coffee shop. That's right. The coffee shop doesn't match the surrounding of its area. I don't know.
Okay, it's false because they said that they wanted the Starbucks to blend in.
But I don't understand blend in.
Match, to coordinate. When you put on a tie for Sunday or when you're going out, you put on a tie that blends in with the colors that you're wearing. For example, if you were wearing a green shirt, you probably would not put on a polka dot tie of orange, yellow, and blue.
Okay, I understand.
Okay. So this one would be, the coffee shop doesn't match the surrounding. This would be false.
Okay. There's a big green neon sign on the coffee shop. No, there's no green neon.
That's correct. But the Starbucks really does have a big green and white sign here in the States. But because they wish to blend in, they have, I think it was a dark colored sign with black writing. Okay.
Customers are not allowed to line up outside the shop. That's right, because the owners of the Starbucks doesn't want a lineup outside the shop for the neighbor. It's bad for the neighbors.
Okay.
There will be no limit to the number of customers at peak hours. At peak hours, the owner of the Starbucks tried to restrain the number of customers.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. So there will be no limit. There is a limit. Yes. There is a limit. So this is false. All right, let's look at our vocabulary words. And if you can, tell me, match those up for me.
Ancient. I don't know. Old.
Good. Ancient is old. Mm-hmm.
Unlike. Different from.
Very nice.
Areas, region. Located. Located, found.
I think this is correct.
Popular. Mood.
No, popular is something that many people enjoy.
Well liked.
Very good. Well liked.
Blends. Harmonizes.
Mm-hmm, good.
Logo. Trademark.
Very good. Trademark, yes.
Reform. Improved.
Perfect.
Line, cue. Atmosphere, mood.
All right. So you didn't have any difficulty with those. Excellent. Now let's go to. So what I'd like for you to do now is take a look at these phrase match. And from here, I want you to tell me about the article. It might sound something like this. In this article, a new coffee shop in Japan's ancient city now sells coffee. In this coffee shop, it is unlike other places because it blends in with the atmosphere of this ancient environment. People sit on flat banisters. One of the most interesting things about this Starbucks coffee shop is that when you go there, there are no long lines. And Starbucks has decided to make sure the coffee shops blends with the environment by using dark, natural-looking colors. There are no neon signs. The house has been reformed to serve as a place for people to sit and chat. They do limit the number of people at one time so no one has to line up or queue up and wait to be served. This will help to avoid disrupting the quiet atmosphere. Okay. You can use some of your own imagination, your own words, but I'd like for you to tell me about this article using these phrases.
I discover in this article a new coffee shop which is famous in the USA, but perhaps not as famous in Japan. And this new coffee shop was built in the ancient capital Kyoto in Japan. It's unlike the other coffee shop in the USA because it bent to an historic area of Kyoto in the traditional style. People sit on flat cushions on the tatamis and they enjoy the good atmosphere of Starbucks. But outside you can see a lot of neons like in the US because for the owner of the Starbucks in Kyoto, they must preserve the atmosphere, the quiet atmosphere. And in order to have a quiet atmosphere, they limit the number of people or customers who are avoided to enter in the Starbucks coffee at the peak hours.
Very nice. Very nicely done. All right, any questions? And that was a good summary using the phrase match. The last thing that we're going to do is take a look at the role play and just tell me if you can, of the four that are given, historic house, shopping mall, library, or train station, which is the best place that you think would be?
For me?
Yes. For me. Which one is the best place for a coffee shop?
Oh, I suppose.
And why?
I suppose a library could be a very good place.
A library?
A library, yes. You could have a coffee and in a quiet atmosphere, and at the same time reading a book or discuss quietly with your partner. It could be a good experience. I like also have coffee in a special train. The typical train in the world that are famous, for example, in Ecuador, for example, in Colombia, for example, the Trans-Siberian train. A very good experience to have a coffee in a train station.
Okay.
Oh, it's also interesting to have a coffee in an historic house. I suppose in the USA you must have a lot of historic houses.
Yeah, yes, we do. But your choice, though. But of your choices, if you could only choose one, which would be the best place to have the coffee shop?
I prefer to have a coffee shop, perhaps in a shopping mall, and to see a lot of people around me to go and back, to move, and to have a noisy atmosphere only a few hours in the afternoon.
Right. Okay. And I think for me, I would prefer to have it at the library or the train station. Most likely at a library, because as you're sitting there reading your book, you can enjoy a nice warm cup of coffee.
Yes, yes.
That would be
a good choice.
All right. Any questions about this article? today?
No. I'm very happy to have
Well,
another.
you see, you didn't forget anything. You remembered a lot. Your
No,
voice is
I try to work every day. I try to read something. I try to read an article, but unfortunately, I need to speak.